Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Brenda Phillips. I am the marketing director here at the Lone Store. Today, we are going to be looking at our non QM solutions and talking a little bit more about those. Our host today is Adam Wagner, and I will go ahead and flip it over to Adam here in a moment. And just a reminder, everybody is on mute. Your cameras are off. If you have a question, you're welcome to put it in the chat, and we have several experts in the chat room ready to answer any questions that you might have. Anything that we're not able to answer within the chat, we'll have an account executive reconnect with you after the call and get your questions answered. Also, we will be providing a replay of the webinar tomorrow on the Marketing Hub. If you do not have access to the TLS Marketing Hub, again, reach out to your TLS account executive and they can get you connected in on that. Adam, go ahead.
Awesome. All right. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Thank you for attending. As always, the Lone Store keeps these brief and very to the point. Today's is non-QM, the wild, wild world of non-QM. And so we'll highlight some price opportunity, some product opportunity, and then we have an amazing process flow that we'll introduce to folks. And I think you'll really see how those three kind of pillars of sort come together. We also, I actually captured an actual real live non-QM underwriter, and she's here. And it only looks like she's trapped in a basement. So we do let her go. We let her have food and water when she's not underwriting deals. So it's a really good setup. But we have a real live underwriter too. Not to turn this into a guideline specific call. Non-QM has so many nuances, and there's so many opportunities for exception. But who better to hear it from than our head of non-QM underwriting? So without further ado, I want to introduce you to Philip Schultz. Most of you know him, but Schultzy, take it away.
You got it. Thanks, Adam. Appreciate it. And yeah, we are going to go real deep into non-QM today, but just want to provide too, we offer a bunch of other products as well. So, we are, heavy in conventional FHA, VA, USDA on the agency side, do jumbos, HELOCs. We do hard money as well. So there is, we're not a one-trick pony. We're not just a non-QM shop. We're not just an agency shop. We definitely are building our foundation here at the Lone Store that can survive in any market, not just in really good interest rate market. So with that, let's jump in and look at our non-QM suite. We offer Flex non-QM income, and that's basically our bank statement program. We go max up to $3 million. Minimum FICO 660, and I'm not going to bore you by reading all of the bullet points here, but you can see, purchase rate, term, cash out as well, primary, second, and investment properties. But the income type, I want to point out here, full doc, bank statements, 1099, profit and loss, asset depletion, asset utilization, restricted stock, anything and everything that kind of we can encapsulate there. From an income standpoint, we are going to try and figure out a way to make it work. So non-mortgable condos on that bank statement as well, on the Flex non-QM as well. DSCR, $2.5 million. Minimum FICO 620. Purchase rate, term, cash out as well. Obviously, investment properties only due to it being DSCR. Foreign nationals on it, and non-warrantable condos on this one as well. Just a preview, we are getting close to an I-10 product that we are hoping to have rolled out by the end of the month, but more to come on that as we get closer to launch there. But last but not least, I would say, a couple things from a pricing standpoint. You're going to find, we've got very deep relationships with a lot of our investors. One very deep relationship with an investor that goes back 8 to 10 years. That Tracy, myself, we've all had the pleasure of working with for some time, are really doubling down. And by what I mean by that is from a pricing standpoint, we are going out with and typically day in, day out, you're going to see us at the top of the rate stack when it comes to pricing. If you're using Loan Sifter or Rive or any of the main price engines, you're going to find that that we're either at the top or pretty dang close to the top from a competitive price standpoint. So I would encourage you to, if we're there, absolutely reach out to one of your very experienced account executives here at TLS. And we can definitely help you out there. But then the final thing I want to mention, and then I'll kick it back over to Adam, is the guidelines are out there, and the guidelines we'll get into exceptions maybe a little later in the show with Tracy for sure, but exceptions are the norm with non-QM. We're seeing about 50% of the loans right now that we do have an exception on it. And so we're going to talk a little bit about exceptions, but the reason I bring it up now or tee it up now would be that we see exceptions. We're making exceptions all the time. We track the exceptions. So the exceptions that we were doing, January, in the first quarter, January, February, and March, a lot of those we have implemented into our guidelines. So they're no longer exceptions. So we try and continue to make the process easier, but from a standpoint of exceptions, make sure if it doesn't fit in the box, make sure you're still reaching out to your account executive to help structure that deal, because we've got a very experienced team of AEs. We've got a very experienced team of underwriters that can help structure that deal and see if there's a possibility for an exception. So with that, Adam, I'll kick it back to you to talk about Fastlane.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just looking through the chat, Schultz. There's some heavy hitter LOs here today. So shout out to Robin. See you out there. All right. So like we said before, sometimes a lender will choose to just compete on price, or they have a slick UI, user experience, UX, right? But for non-QM, we knew we had to bring all three to the table. So we're going to always be consistent in price. Top is our goal. We're always going to have good product, right? The product type, but more often the nuance in the product, which is why Tracy's here, is really important. We get deals done. That's not to say non-QM doesn't have its opaqueness, right? It's if you've never done one or only done one or two, don't be scared. Jump in. We are here to help. And here's how we do it. We built a process. And that process is called Fastlane. It's an acronym, obviously. It stands for fast, accurate, simple, and touchless. And that's what we mean non-QM to be for you. We have a group of people solely dedicated to work non-QM deals. They don't replace your processor or your personal workflow as a broker. We'll respect that. But we'll sit right next to you on your shoulder and take the loan all the way through. So we'll go from disclosure to closing. Our folks can also reach out directly to the borrower in instances where you'd rather have your processor working on, conventional purchases, stuff that really needs their attention that they are experts in. We found a lot of times people don't really want to get involved in non-QM. So this is 100% complimentary service. Every non-QM you send us automatically gets into Fastlane. We'll reach out to you. We'll say, hey, how do you want us to interact? Do you want us to come to you with anything? Do you want us to reach out directly to your borrower? Do you have your product and price? Here's where you're sitting. Okay. Any other thoughts on the deals? Like it's truly back to the old fashioned way of doing loans, where it's like, let us put together the package for you. Then this team sends it directly to Tracy's dedicated non-QM team. That's all they do. Non-QM. That's specifically what they were brought here for. Some of the absolute best in the industry. And then that Fastlane team and underwriting work together to make a bona fide solution, basically an approvable deal. And we'll come out to you. Hey, here's your conditions. Hey, here's what's tripping us up in the file. Or, hey, we're going straight to your borrower to fulfill your, clear to close. So very unique, very revolutionary. I don't think anybody's done anything close to this, especially in the non-QM space. Non-QM is definable by having actual pull-through, right? Doesn't matter if you got all the price or product in the world if you can't get people through it successfully. So again, we trapped an underwriter today. We're so happy to have her. And she's going to talk through those exceptions and really where the rubber meets the road. And that's the most important thing in this strategy we have. So Fastlane, if you have questions, your AEs are the perfect source. If you are not sure how to get in non-QM, or you're like, crap, I think I have a deal here, or I don't even know how to read these bank statements or calculate them the way you guys do, send it to us. That is literally what we are here for. We have opportunities to help you along every step of the way. Our goal in life is that you send us a non-QM and literally don't have to touch it ever again until we give you the clear to close, if you so choose. And remember, if you have a processor already, you can still charge your processing fee to the borrower. We'll sit right next to them digitally, of course. We don't actually come out to your office and sit next to you because that'd be weird, but we will sit there with you the entire step. And we've seen extreme benefits to pull through percentage and extreme benefits to speed. So anyway, I can talk all day about it. We're super passionate about it here, but it really gives you a non-QM, it gives you a leg up, quite frankly. You can pitch it with confidence to borrower, realtor, business partner alike. So anyway, not to get stuck on one topic. Brenda, if you can give us the next slide, please, or I'll just talk fast lane all day, basically. So product, price, and performance. So guys, I want you to meet Tracy. Again, extreme industry accolades. A lot of you may know her. She's had a pretty storied career in underwriting, and she does all things non-QM with us. So Tracy.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me. I want to talk a little bit about my underwriting team, and obviously we'll touch on some guideline stuff. Obviously, I won't go in too deep, but feel free to ask questions. If I can't answer today, I'll get back to you, or right now on the spot. I won't tell you I have the guidelines memorized. However, I probably can quote them pretty good, but now. So we do have a select group of underwriters who only underwrite non-QM with us. So definitely you're going to see the same folks over and over. You know, if you continue to send deals, you're going to get to know our underwriters. And that's something that we definitely want you to do. The underwriters are available to discuss loans, take calls, answer emails, anything that you need as far as questions on files. I've been doing non-QM a very long time, longer than I care to admit. So I'll age myself if I tell you. But I've come to find out that non-QM is never cookie cutter in the box, right? So you got to have those conversations. Don't be afraid to reach out to your underwriters. They will take your calls. You know, while they may not be available right this second, they will return your calls. They'll get on the phone with you. They'll work with your account executives, myself included, if I need to get involved in scenarios or whatever. You know, those are things that we have to do because they don't all fit in the box. It's all black and white in non-QM. So, and as Phil was mentioning earlier, it's about 50% exceptions. So we have a lot of opportunities here, which I find super exciting. But you know, those are all things that you got to reach out. You got to reach out and talk to your underwriter. And again, we invite that. So, you know, make sure that you're doing that. Make sure that you're talking to them. Don't be afraid to give them a call. And ask questions. If you have challenges with conditions, you know, or do we have alternative opportunities there? Ask those questions, you know, because again, we may have some opportunities for you. We also have a scenario team who can complete bank statement calculations for you. So if you have bank statement calculations, you can send those in. You can get with your AE for that information. But we can do those calculations for you before you submit the loan. I will tell you it's not 100% guaranteed because they don't they don't see the whole entire package. They're just getting your bank statements, but your income should be fairly close. And again, if you have specific questions, you can always reach out and ask those questions to the scenario team or myself or your account executive. Mm-hmm. So just want to mention that as well.
Yeah, I think Tracy, on the income piece, I think it's important for folks to understand it allows them to know before they commit and get too far ahead with their borrower if they've got a viable deal. If there's blue sky in this deal, hey, we got about X amount of income, we're good. That gives you that confidence to kind of take the next step with your borrower. Something that I think non-QM lacks is a lot of folks are afraid to sell it, not because they don't understand it or think they need it, is they don't want to disappoint or otherwise have the negative experience put upon them, right? We want to help you with that. So Tracy team, our bank statements, your fast lane is a single point of contact. They reach directly to the underwriter. As you guys can see, we're literally building this non-QM assembly line that doesn't allow you to, to get lost in the woods, so to speak. So anyway, that was a great point, Tracy. I wanted to make sure we hammered that.
Yeah. And next I just want to talk quickly about some guidelines. Obviously, they already covered the Flex non-QM income and the Flex DSCR. And within that Flex non-QM income suite, you have the different income types, which is your full doc bank statement, 1099, P&L, asset depletion, asset utilization, and restricted stock. And I do want to call those out because I think they get lost in the shuffle. The CPA P&L product is an amazing product. If your borrower, has a CPA that they work with, and they can do the P&L for them. It's not an audited P&L. They do have to certify specific information, but it's not audited. So it's a great opportunity that I think a lot of people miss out on, as well as the 1099 product as well. I think those are great opportunities that I think people don't utilize as much as they should. So I definitely want to call those out, and again, ask questions, get with your AE if you have questions about those products, because they're super easy to do. A lot less documentation than a bank statement product can be. So they're good opportunities for you as far as, just to get a loan done and to get a loan done quickly.
Yeah. Tracy, we open the chat, guys, for if you have questions or thoughts. We're really here for you guys if you want to kind of run stuff by us. But think of it this way, Tracy, when we compile these files for you and your team, and you guys get them, is there something that always sticks out, or what's that next level of understanding to kind of make the loan officer broker sharper at point of sale?
I think it's just really getting a complete application is the key.
Uh-huh.
When we have to guess at what we're underwriting or what we're trying to do, we have to add conditions that we may not necessarily need.
Yep.
But we don't really know. So I think the key here is, do a complete application, make sure you tell us the story. And again, in telling that story, giving that information to your processor that's working with you, or
Yep.
putting it in an email or on a Word document and sending it in with the file, and just giving us that information. Because again, we definitely, it helps, because again, the stories aren't always easy to figure out in non-QM space. That's what this product is for. It's for those things that don't fit into the box. So
Yeah.
I think
Yep.
those are super
Nuance.
important.
Right, Tracy? I mean, nuance rules the day. So like part of Fastlane also, if you guys don't want to commit that to email, you're out in the field talking to brokers, call your Fastlane single point of contact, convey your understanding and knowledge of the deal. They'll put it in the file to underwriting. Again, we're going to meet you every which way. But Tracy, looks like you got two good questions in the chat that hopefully you're smarter than I am on these.
Yeah, so for P&L, we have an option for 12 or 24 months. So those are both options in our product. So you can do both. Do you accept cash investment income for cash out? I'm not.
Are you speaking to like we have an RSU carve out, restricted stock unit carve out, but I'm assuming you're mentioning like dividend income, perhaps? Okay, gotcha. Tracy, does that help?
Yes, do you investment for cash out? So it depends on, you know what, Ivory, I'm not going to answer that one. I know you can't do it on an investment product, but I
Good
believe
question, Ivory.
yeah, I believe that's a stumper for me, and I don't want to tell you wrong, so I'll get back to you. I'll look it up when I finish talking here, and get back to you on that. So
Treating it like a return. Okay, yeah.
Gotcha. I got
That
you. Okay.
I think we're good there, but allow the real underwriter to speak, not the sales guy. So yeah, that's awesome. I mean, guys, this is truly how we look at these files. We're not know-it-alls. We're trying to put each deal together. I think that's really important. We've all been around in our careers, platforms that you swear are not trying to do deals. This space is tough. I think we're uniquely positioned to guide you through the non-QM landscape. And I think our guideline box is arguably one of the biggest. Most is spent some time on calls with recently. The feedback has been a couple points here or there, couple different thoughts on exceptions. Worst case scenario, we look at something and we can't align on it, but you're going to get a full file review each and every single time, scenario by scenario. So, okay, Tracy, no cash out, but we would consider an exception. Yeah, absolutely. So we placed a deal a couple days ago where the gentleman was in the Bay Area, had a bunch of restricted stock units, had gotten turned down twice. Totally understand it, not here to portray that we are perfect, but guys, if you haven't done these before, don't be afraid. Jump right in. We will get you through it. Promise you. And you'll learn every single time. Can you do it on primary residence? Geez. That's awesome. This is good stuff. All right. And then when would you like to disclose underwriter? Yeah. So Joe, Ivory, I'll let Tracy take yours. Joe, in that instance, is this like a true like, hey, this is my borrower's, this is my borrower. Can he or she do anything? Yeah, do we have any blue sky there? Is that what you mean, basically? Yeah, yeah, totally. Two avenues. Tracy, I'll let you take that one as well, the scenario desk.
Yeah, when we would like to discuss non-QM scenario with an underwriter so I think you could probably reach out to your non-QM scenario desk person and they can get you in contact with myself, or reach out to your AE if you need to discuss again, if it's a scenario situation, I definitely would want to take a look at it, especially if the scenario desk can't give you specific answers. And a lot of times they can if it's involving exceptions and that type of thing.
Yeah.
Those come through me. So I suggest you get with your AE and have them reach out to me and we can get on a call and discuss it, or I can reach out and call you, do some things like that. So definitely something that we'll get a hold of you and get you an answer.
Yeah, good question, Joe. Brenda, we've heard a lot of that recently. Tracy, the HOA coverages, that's been a pretty hot topic with a lot of folks.
We will consider some exceptions on those. We have done them and we have turned them down too. So it really just depends on the scenario.
Yeah.
And the compensating factors. But yes,
Yeah.
we will consider those.
Yeah. It's kind of perfect. We don't obviously plan these questions, but it highlights, the reluctance for some LOs and brokers to get into non-QM, right? Because the real answer is, hey, we have to look at the entire scenario a lot of times, which can be kind of frustrating, but that allows us actually to get more deals through. So I assure you, we are built for this. We're constantly hiring more non-QM people into our space. We have open recs for the fast lane, for underwriters. If you have great folks and you want them on this platform because we have the best product and price, send them over to us. We truly are in this for the long haul. Most of you know us from HomePoint and kind of know our entire history. So you know what we can do and what we've already done thus far at the Loan Store. Most of the time I find with my folks that if you're trying to fit that square peg in a round hole scenario, like, kind of Joe was talking about, your AE is kind of our X factor here, kind of our secret sauce at the Loan Store. I would put our AEs against anybody in the industry. And if they don't know it, they know where to find it. And I assure you, they're not emailing me very often. They're going to people like Tracy and the true experts that actually get the files done. So you're not wasting anybody at TLS's time if you're trying to figure out, hey, do I have a deal? Do I have blue sky here? We're in this for the long haul. That'll pay us back in loans 5, 10, 20 year, months from now. So really give us a shout and a call if you haven't done it on QM. I know why you're nervous, and let's be real, guys. This is back to true mortgage. This is true sales, true needs and analysis, truly combing and talking to realtors about the stuff that people don't want to do, right? Roll up your sleeves and let's go. Let's write some loans. So 21 to 27 days. Yep. We're running quite fast. In fact, I like all that stuff. That's good knowledge, guys. Anything else specific, Tracy, that you want to call out? Something that the team has noticed recently? Any trends or anything there?
I just want to call out, obviously we just did an update to our guidelines if you haven't heard, on Friday. So we had some good updates. We're allowing cash out seasoning to use appraised value at 6 months now instead of 12. So that was a big win for us. We released on the last release, we released an interest only option for a 30 and 40 year term and a 40-year option. And I do want to call out on those interest only options because for DSCR, this is huge. It will save your DSCR deals. You can use the use the ITIA payment in your calculation for your DSCR score, and your reserves are calculated off the interest only payment as well. So those are good call outs from those. We've also expanded some of our cash out buckets, and LTV buckets on some of our products as well. And then just quickly, I want to touch on some exceptions that we have considered and we make a lot of the time. So again, just some ideas for you if you have scenarios, reach out, ask questions, ask your underwriters. We've trade line exceptions we will consider all day long. Definitely ask those if you have trade line issues, especially if we have trade lines that are outside the required activity in 12 months. Reserves, we can make exception on reserves. You have to have a minimum of 2 months, but anything above that we can consider. Again, it depends on the profile of the borrower, but we will consider those. Less than 2 years self-employment on our bank statement products and our 1099s, all that flex income stuff, we require 2 years of self-employment. We can make some exceptions on that. We need a minimum of 12 months. But if they've been in the same line of work, we definitely have made them, I've seen them at 13, 14, 15 months. We like them obviously closer to 12, 24, but if we have good compensating factors, those are an option. I think this is kind of similar to the question that you asked prior. That was asked prior by Ivory. We have made exceptions to do cash out on asset depletion loans. So I actually was looking through some of the tracking this call, and that was one that I saw like 4 times we made exceptions on. So definitely an option there. Max cash out, we can look at some of those opportunities to exceed the max cash out limits. Again, we probably will want to see an appraisal. So that may be something that you have to wait to get an exception for until you have the appraisal in, but those are something that we can do. Layered entities on an LLC, that's pretty standard across the market that nobody does them. We will make exceptions on those. So those are things to ask about if you have that scenario. Escrow waivers outside of guidelines. Obviously, we have in the matrix certain parameters that you can do escrow waivers. We have made exceptions outside of those parameters, so you can look for exceptions on those. And then, of course, DSCR scores down to 0.75. Our matrix does allow it in some instances, so it's not always an exception, but in those instances where you might need an exception, definitely ask if you're at 0.75 because that's definitely an opportunity there for us to do.
Yeah, that's a cool one. And Tracy, kind of intertwined in that, I hope everybody caught the fact is Tracy and team communicate directly to our investor, and they're evolving the product based on what we're writing and seeing in real time. Like, I got to be honest, I've never actually had that before in my career. I've been around since Countrywide. So it's a incredibly unique platform here. And I know I'm getting a little salesy about it, so I'll shut up. We will perform. So give us a chance. But Tracy, also the 75 DSCR, that's pretty unique in the space. I mean, the bank statement product, price aside, the bank statement product has really shown to capture deals that were otherwise withdrawn or canceled. I don't know that we have a stat on takeovers. So basically a takeover would be a loan we take over from another bank, right? And we still meet closing and we still meet original everything and we still get that exception. So not saying send us like 2 or 3 days to, perform every day, but don't be shy is I think the underlying tone we're trying to present. So good stuff, Tracy. Schultz, I feel like I got to include you right now just for fun. Anything, what's on your mind right now?
Yeah, I would say, just drive home the point of, check with your AE, check with, we've got seasoned AEs, underwriters, experienced, accessible. Tracy hit on it. Adam, you hit on it. I hit on it. We can't stress out enough. This is a product that is a high touch, get involved, understand the scenario type product that we have to we will help you get engaged with that so that we can understand it. But you have a stable of resources and experience that you can lean on in order to get more of these deals done for you.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's great. Folks, one last call in the chat. Any other questions on your mind? You at least know your contact points, how to get us. So give it, calling once, twice, and sold. Okay. Oh, got one at the HELOC. Absolutely have HELOC, your AE, or we can take your information down. But Mr. Joseph Betro, Joe hit up the primary idea behind our HELOC, speed and efficiency. Again, we want you guys out selling deals. The best case for you and your AE is prospecting new business. The best thing for us to do as a lender, take your deal, get it to the finish line with the least amount of intrusion to you and the AE. You guys go hunt, we will cook. So I think that's the best way to kind of sum it up, Schultz, unless you got anything else.
Yeah, no, I think so. Just to sum up here, you see them on the slides there. super competitive from a price standpoint. You know, your AE and your underwriters absolutely experienced some of the best and most experienced in the business. We didn't just roll this out last week. You know, our AEs have been, you know, account executives for, you know, 10, 15, 20 plus years. Same with our underwriters, same with our closers and our ops staff and everybody on the team. And you know, as you saw, and we did do a deep dive with non-QM today, but we have, you know, a big variety of products, you know, including non-QM that can help in any market. And then last but not least, we have Marketing Hub and Learning Center, where you will find, you know, this replay and a lot of other unbranded material that you can share with your partners, realtor partners, and customers as well. So with that, Adam, I'll turn it back over to you. Tracy, thank you so much, and certainly appreciate everybody's time today.
Absolutely. Guys, you know where to find us. Please give us a chance if you haven't. We want to earn your business. And with that, let's go get some loans. Talk to y'all later.